Hello, happy Monday. I'm going to go live everywhere. Give me a minute and say hi. Let me know what it's like where you're at. Okay, going live on. Okay, I am hearing myself coming and going here. Okay. Let me know if you can hear me everywhere. Good to see you guys. I'm excited today about today's topic because I've been talking about trends a lot sort of in advance of fall being right around the corner and fall trends and fall trend videos and fall trend reporting and all that stuff. This is my favorite time of year, fashion wise, and honestly, probably calendar wise as well. So, very excited to be talking about trends and kind of how they work for you today because there's a lot of misinformation about there about trends. And so, I want to break it down for you and talk about why it's important. Is it relevant? Is it something we should even be paying attention to over 50? Like, why do they matter? Okay, so first thing I want to share is that next week, next Monday, 11 a.m., my usual time, I will be doing another outfits masterclass. I will be really breaking down a lot of the principles behind fabulous outfits next week. So you'll definitely want to join for that. Hello, good morning, everybody. The next thing I want to talk about is that I have, good morning, good morning. I have a lot of fun resources coming up in my Style Confidence Club, including closet outfit planners and capsule wardrobes by color. I have body type styling guides for fall, winter. I have so many fun things coming up for that. So definitely check that out at styleconfidenceclub.com. But let's get started talking about trends. First of all, the thing that I need everybody and want everybody to understand, and one of the main things I'm talking about today, is that trends are objective. They're objective. So I'll get these heartwarming comments underneath my YouTube videos. Yes, I'm being sarcastic. Like, you are wrong. That is not a trend. I don't think that's trendy. We may not like trends. I certainly do not like all the trends. I am often just the messenger. I'm the reporter. That my job is to tell you what's trendy. And then from there, we narrow it down into what's going to work for us. But the trends are what they are. I don't make them up. I don't come up with them. I simply report on them. So behind every trend is a system. So first of all, just really quickly, how are trends? How do we know what's trendy? Trend forecasting agencies like WGSN, Fashion Snoops, even Pantone, they look at what's happening in the world, like what's happening in the world in culture and art and politics, in tech, and they decide what are people going to be wanting to wear in the next year or two or three. So they're looking at global patterns and they're deciding what do we think people are going to wear. The second thing that happens is there are runway shows. Now, runway shows, New York, Paris, Milan, Copenhagen. These are where designers take the trend reports and they turn them into clothes. And then there's still another level between what shows up on a runway and what shows up in your closet and in my closet. Where often runway shows are meant more as theater and as art than they are as actual clothing that most of us are going to actually wear. And for those of us who've seen crazy runway shows in the past, we can probably attest to that. The third level is what are buyers going to buy and actually bring into stores. So buyers choose what to bring into stores. Brands choose how to adapt their ideas to reach more consumers. For example, maybe they say pearls are on trend, which they are. So on a runway show, you're going to see someone covered in head to toe pearls. Buyers are going to look at that and be like, we'll buy a couple of pearls. Brands are going to look at that and be like, how can we sell the most pearls? This is kind of the way that this whole thing works. And then tools like Google Trends, List, Pinterest, Predicts, these all tell us what is actually taking off. So after the brands decide what to make and the buyers decide what to put in stores, are we actually going to buy that stuff? Are we? Because we've all seen stuff that like goes from, being brand new in the store to hitting the clearance rack in 6 weeks. This is a new phenomenon because trend cycles are moving so quickly. And what happened is that the buyer the brand first and then the buyer second got it wrong. They put stuff in stores that nobody wanted, right? And we've all seen that. We've all seen like, okay, what is this crazy trend? Nobody's going to buy this. And it ends up on the clearance rack really, really quickly. So when you start seeing something like wide leg pants everywhere and skinny jeans fading into the background, like we saw a few years ago, that's not a coincidence. That's a trend cycle at work. So let's talk about why trends matter, even if you don't follow them. You don't have to follow trends. I would love it if you would follow my trend reports, because I'm going to give you what I think is important and cut out a lot of the noise. But trends are like a fashion forecast. They tell you what's happening, even if you're not participating directly. I don't have to go outside to need to know or to want to know the weather. I feel like it's still relevant to my life. And fashion forecasts are still relevant to our lives because they let us know kind of what's happening in the big picture. They help you avoid looking dated without looking too trendy. So for those of you who want to look modern and feel like you can ignore trends and still look modern, I'm here to tell you that those things go hand in hand. So, and I'm going to show you how that works. You do not need to be trendy to be modern, but you do need to know what's on trend to be modern. So you don't need to chase trends, but it's helpful to understand them so you can choose consciously and ask yourself, do I want to try this or do I want to skip it? Okay, now the filters that we're going to use are the filters I always encourage you to use. And those are the filters of, do I love this? And does it love me back? So I've been talking about this in recent videos. I came up with a little triangle, a little pyramid. And the 3 points on the triangle are, do I love this? Does it love me back? And is it modern? So trends are really going to refer to the is it modern part of the pyramid. But we are always going to want to look at, do I love this? And does it love me back? Those are going to be our initial filters in everything. So personal style, do I love this? Do I respond to this? Does this resonate with me? Flattery, does it love me back? Is this a good fit for me? Does it flatter my body? Are the colors right? You can tell I'm losing my voice. This weather is just killing me. So those are the two points on the pyramid. The third pyramid third point on the pyramid is it modern? Is it modern? If it's not modern, you're going to look dated. And so I am passionate, and I will never back down from the fact that over 50, over 60, over 90, wherever you're at, you should look modern. Nobody who follows me wants to look dated. If you feel like looking modern is irrelevant to your life, I hope that this will change your mind. And I will tell you, I will never back down from that. I'll never back down from the need and the importance of being modern. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so let's talk about skinny jeans. I'm just going to break down kind of what happened with skinny jeans as an example of a trend cycle and how things are working in trends these days. So like from 2005 to 2015, you were nobody if you didn't wear a skinny jean. I mean, everybody wore skinny jeans. Now, many of us did not take one of those points on the pyramid into account, which is this actually flattering on me? Skinny jeans are flattering on people who like the lower half of their body. If you don't love the lower half of your body, you probably did not love the skinny jean trend, but we all wore skinny jeans for those 10 years. Like it was just the only option out there. And your wardrobe just wasn't complete without them. You know, all of the influencers were talking about how to wear your booties with skinny jeans. And do you roll the skinny jeans? Do you tuck them into your boots? Like, what do you do with, and we love that skinny jeans went with all the shoes and all the heel heights and all the things. Good morning, everyone. So that was 2005 to 2015, right? Long period of time. We all just wore skinny jeans for a long time. Then from 2016 to 2019, the fashion world quietly shifted to like looser silhouettes. We started seeing cropped flares. We started seeing straight legs. We started seeing a trend away from skinny jeans. And around 2020, Gen Z was like, skinny jeans are dead. But many of us were still wearing our skinny jeans because they started in like youth culture for a while. Social media mocked them as like mom jeans or millennial jeans, which millennials are much younger than many of us are anyway. But they were like, from 2020 to 2022, they were definitely going out of style. And then, by the end of 2022, we really saw skinny jeans just not in the culture anymore. They just weren't a thing. So when people tell me I'm still going to wear my skinny jeans, I'm still insisting on skinny jeans, I get it. I get it. They actually are one of my more flattering silhouettes, but I will tell you that they do not look modern. They do not look modern. And in spite of the rumblings that skinny jeans are coming back, they are not fully back. And the ones that are coming back look different than the ones we wore 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. So they're coming back. They're going to look different. They're going to be structured, more structured. They're not going to be as stretchy. They're going to be more high rise. We're going to see things like slit hems. We're going to see things like ankle zips. And they're going to be styled very, very differently. Again, we're saying high rise. We're not saying low rise. We're not seeing a stretchy. We're not seeing something that hugs all the way down from the knee to the ankle. And they're going to be styled very differently and in a little bit more of a polished way than before. So skinny jeans have still not fully re-entered the fashion scene. And so my encouragement is to still stay with the straight leg to wide leg. They are absolutely still what's happening for fall 2025. Okay. So what's key here is that the cut and the context change for everything. These are not the same skinnies from 2010, and how we style them is everything. And so that's kind of what we're really looking at when we're looking at trends. Not just what is the piece, but how do you style it? So for those of you who want to know, you're like, okay. Enough about trends. How do I create a modern wardrobe where everything doesn't get dated right away and where I can continue to wear the pieces that I love? It is about balance and it is about styling. So first thing I want to say is, do you guys remember the acronym that we used to use, which was not very nice in elementary school or high school? KISS, keep it simple, So we're going to be keep it simple and stylish. Keep it simple and stylish. KISS. Keep it simple and stylish. If you want something to stay in style, it needs to be as simple as possible. The flip side of that is my mantra that I talk about all the time, which is details date. Details date. So the things that are going to be the hardest to style are the things that are the most dated. So I've just done 2 videos almost back to back on 10 timeless things that aren't really timeless. These are things that and the reason I chose these things is not because I ever considered them timeless or because the fashion world considered them timeless, but because I have seen them consistently over many, many years. Women continue to wear these things regardless of whether or not they're in style. So the things on that list that are going to be impossible to style are the ones that are heavily detailed. Those include things like the embellished and sparkly chiffony layers and tops and cardigans and jackets. Those are hard to style because they are dated. Because they are detailed, and details date. Details date. Another thing that is going to be very hard to style is something like the jeans with the heavy top stitching and the crazy pockets. Those are hard to style because they have a lot of detail, and details date. So the things that are going to be simpler to style are things like the dated black sheath dress or what I call the man pants, the beige or khaki chinos. Those are going to be a little easier to style in a modern way because they're very, very simple. So keep it simple and stylish. If you want your clothes to last, they need to be middle of the road. So really good question. How long do most trends last? Now, micro trends can last a few months or a season, but trend cycles, and that's what I'm talking about here, major trends, which are the only ones truly that are worth paying attention to, can last 5 to 10 years. This is why I say nothing is timeless. Nothing is timeless. I am going to do a video on the most timeless pieces, and these are pieces that you're going to get the most longevity out of, but nothing is truly timeless. Like nothing from 1980 looks exactly the same as it does. Like if you're going to buy a white shirt from 1980, it's going to look different than the white shirt in 2000. It's going to look different than the white shirt in 2025. So nothing is timeless. 5 to 10 years is the longest we can expect to get out of a specific item. That does not mean that those trends don't come back. So I've held on to things that are 20, 25, 30 years old because I love them. And when they come back into popular culture, I bring them back into my wardrobe again. But the trend itself, 5 to 10 years. Okay, so keep it simple and stylish. The fewer details on an item, the more likely you will be able to wear it for a long time. And the more likely you'll be able to style it in a way that looks modern. Okay, so let's talk about how to look current and confident without chasing trends. First is to update the shape. Trends often show up in silhouettes first, which is why I double down on skipping the skinny jeans. Unless you've bought skinny jeans in 2025 and you're styling them in a really modern way, this is not an opportunity to pull out your 2010 favorites, right? Because a silhouette was the first thing that changed. And so the silhouette is also the thing that's going to make something look the most dated. So if your go-to pieces still fit great, but they have dated proportions, like low-rise skinny jeans or low-rise bootcut jeans, good morning, like short tight blazers, swap them for something that has a more modern silhouette, a higher rise pair of jeans or pants, longer hemlines. Jeans were shorter then, they're longer now. Relaxed or slightly oversized fit in tops and outerwear. The silhouette is going to be what's going to date you the most quickly. Which he wears leggings with knee-length sweaters. Yeah, that's a great way. Someone said, I have a pair of skinny jeans which she wears leggings with knee-length sweaters and jackets and tall boots. It's in uniform in winter when there's a lot of snow. Tall boots, knee-high boots are the best way to update skinny jeans. Absolutely. Okay, so for example, if you've got a short-fitted blazer, swap it out for a slightly longer boyfriend blazer. Does not need to be oversized. I hear that from all the petites, and I am 5'2", so I feel that. But it needs to be middle of the road, which is going to take me to my next thing. So I said update the shape. Your silhouettes and your shapes are going to be the first thing that's going to be out of style, right? So because of that, how do we find shapes and silhouettes that are going to last the longest? They are the middle of the road pieces, always. In other words, they're not loose and they're not tight. So for those of you who are like, I can't, I was talking about tight denim jackets are out of style. And everyone's like, but I can't wear an oversized denim jacket. Don't wear an oversized denim jacket. Wear one in between. Wear one in between. The most timeless that we can get in 2025 is something that is tailored, but not tight and not baggy. It's that in between. When I say tailored, I mean that it skims the body without hugging it and without swallowing it up. That in between sweet spot is where your clothes are going to last the longest. That is true of jeans. So straight leg jeans that are medium, not baggy and not skinny, are going to last a lot longer than the skinny jean and are going to last a lot longer than the wide leg jean. A jacket that is not baggy and is not tight is going to last the longest. A dress that is not baggy and is not tight is going to last the longest. It's those in-between silhouettes that are going to look the most updated and most for the longest period of time. So the shape, the silhouette is the most important thing to look at when you're looking at updating your wardrobe. And this is why I'm so fanatical about I saw a whole conversation in the comments section on one of my Facebook groups about, well, nobody's buying straight leg jeans. Nobody's buying wide leg jeans. Everyone's still buying skinny jeans. 100% not the case. 100% not the case. If you look at retail reports, just not the case. People are not buying skinny jeans. People are wearing their skinny jeans from years past, and they need to stop because those are not the ones that are going to come back in style. Okay, next, we talked about updating the shape. The next thing is add, if you're trying to stay current without being chasing trends all the time and being and feeling like your wardrobe is cycling through super quickly. Add one trend element at a time. You don't need a full head to toe trend look. One trending piece instantly modernizes an outfit. So I will be talking about this in my styling video when I talk about how to update potentially dated pieces like the sheath dress that I talked about. It's bringing something new into your wardrobe can refresh everything in your wardrobe. The easiest way to do this is with an accessory that you can wear with all of your outfits. So I often point to a jacket or a shoe as being that transformative piece that I always say, I call it my new do I call it I'm going to change the name every time I mention this, but the new shoe theory. Every time you add a new pair of shoes to your wardrobe, you update everything in your wardrobe. So old dress plus new shoes equals new outfit. Old dress plus new shoes equals new outfit. Old outfit plus new shoes equals new outfit. So shoes, jackets, these are very quick ways and easy ways to update something and to take it from 2015 or 2020 into 2025. So if you feel like your silhouette, the shape of your outfit, for example, maybe you're wearing your most fitted pair of pants and a really fitted top, and you're sensing and recognizing, rightfully so, that fitted on fitted look is dated. Add something on top of it that is a little bit more oversized. And again, you're going to go for that middle of the road, tailored, not baggy piece, but a more tailored piece that's a little bit slouchier than what you're wearing underneath. That's going to be an instant update. So if you add a jacket or a chore jacket or a little bit of a longer blazer over that fitted base layer, you're going to be adding an instant update. Okay, is simple embroidery still okay on denim jackets? I would have to see it to know for sure, but yes, in general, simple definitely is going to be less likely to date. So I would say yes for that. Thank you. She said she likes my advice on finding a sweet spot of a silhouette in between baggy and not tight. Yes, and honestly, I've said for years that regardless of what the trend is, that is flattering on every woman every time. It's the only thing I can categorically say works on everybody all the time, because those are the clothes that fit. Those are the clothes that fit. Tight is not a good fit. Baggy is not a good fit. In between is a good fit. That's where we need to be living. Those are the clothes that we need to be buying, regardless of what the trends say, because the trends will say, buy this coat that you could also use as a tent later in the event of a global meltdown, or buy these jeans that you're going to have to oil yourself in and then jump off a second story to jump into because they're so tight. Neither of those are timeless styles, and most of the time they're not going to be flattering on most women. Very few women can wear oversized well, and very few women can wear skin tight very well. So that sweet spot of clothes being tailored, skimming the body without swallowing it up and without hugging it, is where we need to live. Okay. So I was talking about adding one trend element at a time. Try a cool modern sneaker or shoe with your casual outfit. Try a straight leg pair of pants, or maybe a wide leg pair of pants with your classic button up. It's like kind of adding a little refresh, adding a fresh coat of paint to your outfit. You didn't rebuild the house, you just kind of gave it a little facelift, right? Third, modern accessories can do the heavy lifting. So accessories. The easiest way to update a wardrobe of if you feel like your wardrobe just feels tired, it feels dated, it feels like it's seen better days. Bags, shoes, all of those accessories are very trend forward and trend focused. So if you're wearing, the hot shoes from 3 or 4 years ago, they're going to feel out of style. And if you want to refresh your wardrobe, get a new pair. Glasses, sunglasses. Actually, those are such easy updates, and they're relatively affordable updates. You can buy a couple of pairs of shoes, a great new pair of sunglasses, a fun new bag, and everything in your wardrobe is going to look more modern. So if your clothes are classic, but your accessories are current, your wardrobe will look updated. So stay in that sweet spot of the tailored style clothes. Keep the clothes simple. Keep the details to a minimum. And then update your accessories season after season. That is the recipe for a modern wardrobe where everything doesn't turn over every single year, and we're not trying to chase trends like maniacs, because that's what it feels like with the trend cycle as short as it is right now. The next tip: be ruthless with old standbys. you want to ask yourself, do I really love this, or am I just used to it? And this is the thing, for the person who gave me a rant underneath one of my recent videos, about sustainability. um, I don't recommend throwing everything out. I've never recommended throwing everything out. I recommend identifying your true favorites and archiving those pieces. So I have a lot of pieces that I have stored and that I look forward to bringing out in the future. So it isn't about getting rid of things. It's about taking them out of your current rotation. But you want to ask yourself, if you've got like 50 suits and you don't wear suits anymore, save your favorites. The rest are easily going to be used and loved and enjoyed by other people. And so passing those on to someone else, I think, is a gift if they're truly nice pieces. But you want to identify in whatever area you have too much of. You want to identify your favorites and you want to archive your favorites only. You're not going to archive everything unless you actually live in a museum, because you're never going to get to all that stuff again. And then it really does just kind of become hoarding. Classic clothes and updated accessories. Yes. So some pieces may technically fit, but their details like dated buttons, old school stitching, outdated washes are going to be holding your style back. Even small things like sleeves or bedazzled pockets or heavy top stitching can make a whole outfit feel off. So the simpler, the better. Details date. Keep it simple and stylish. Lastly, let trends inspire, not define. There is never an obligation to chase after a specific trend. I always encourage you to go back to that pyramid. Do I love it? Does it love me back? And is it modern? Trends are going to be modern, so they're going to check that box. Do I love it? Is this something I'm drawn to? Like, my heart skipped a beat when I found out that wine, oxblood, burgundy is a major color trend for fall 2025, because it's one of the colors in my wardrobe color palette and one of my very favorite colors of all time. So do I love it? Yes. Does it love me back? 100%. Is it modern? 100%. And I will tell you, colors don't really go out of style. They just become more available in different seasons. So, oh my goodness. Am I excited about that wine color trend? Because it checks all 3 points on the pyramid for me. So trends are inspiration, not obligation. Ask yourself when you see something, am I drawn to this? Am I excited about it? Did it make my heart skip a beat? You do. If not, pass on it. The thing that needs to stay modern is our silhouettes and our styling. But you do not need to hop on every trend just because people are saying it's trendy. And I don't encourage you to do that, because if you do, you're going to essentially have to recreate your wardrobe year after year after year. And then, when you are drawn to a trend, how can I make it feel like me? How can I bring it into my wardrobe, incorporate it into my wardrobe, my lifestyle, my body, my personal style? Is there a version of this that flatters my body and aligns with my personal style? Those are the questions you need to ask yourself before you jump on board a trend. Browns are huge. You're so happy. Yes, some great color trends. And again, colors don't go out of style. The way that we combine colors and the way that we style colors goes out of style, in and out of style. Colors don't go out of style, but if your favorite colors are in stores right now and they haven't been in a while, this is the season to be stocking up on some of those colors. Don't think of trends as like marching orders or commands. Think of them as fresh tools in your toolbox. You can pick the ones that you want and leave the ones that you don't want. Looking modern is not about chasing every trend. It's about knowing what's happening and making smart, subtle updates that reflect your style today. That's how you stay current without looking like you're trying too hard. Trends are real. They're a real thing that we really need to pay attention to. They shape what's available, what feels current, and what we unconsciously associate with like being knowledgeable, being in the know about style. The best dressed women are not chasing every trend. They are using their style to lead them to the trends that speak to them. They know who they are and they use trends to enhance their wardrobe, not replace it season after season after season. And so That is it. Rant over. But I will say once again, this is the hill that I am going to die on. It is important that we look modern. If you want to look in the mirror and love what you see and enjoy um, style, enjoy putting yourself together, and enjoy your outfits, you're going to need to keep your wardrobe modern. And that's my goal, is to help you keep it modern. I will never, ever, 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 ever say it's okay to be dated, because I know dated is not going to bring out your best or make you feel fabulous. And that's my goal in everything I do. So love you guys so much. A little bit of a different video, a little more rambly, but I just had to share how trends work, that trends are objective, not subjective, and that we can pick and choose trends using that pyramid of, do I love it? Does it love me back? That, like, do I love it? Does it love me back? Is it modern? Everything that we choose, everything that we buy needs to check all three of those little points on the pyramid. So love you guys so much. Keep the questions and comments coming. I can't wait. I will hop in and answer them. I will see you soon. Bye.